The Last of Us episode 1 just dropped on HBO Max yesterday, and I will be reviewing every single episode of the show as it releases. Some things to note about these reviews for The Last of Us. I know of the games. I don't know any real plot points of the games other than like some major spoilers that I'm not even going to say because like for people who are watching the show might be major spoiler for the show. Who knows if the show's going to adapt those elements or not. But yeah, I've never played the games. I know things that happen in the games. I don't know a lot about what happens in the games. But yeah, I was curious about the show because it's a pretty big budget adaptation of a game, and Pedro Pascal's a great actor, plays one of my favorite characters, the Mandalorian. So I want to see what this show was, and this is a really fantastic episode. This is probably one of the best TV pilots of all time. It's an all-time great. It is just excellent, this episode, because I'm not even going off the game. Okay, I'm not even going to compare that because again, I don't have that comparison. This is just a great setup for this world, these characters, what we're doing. And I mean, this episode doesn't start with the zombie apocalypse. We get some world of normal, and then we get that zombie apocalypse. And the way that's all foreshadowed in this episode is really neat. You see the planes go overhead. You got the dog making that sound at the old lady who later is revealed to be one of the zombies, and that was pretty cool. And like that was all really well put together. The actual filmmaking on display is one of the best I've ever seen on any pilot of all time. It is just absolutely incredible. The performances are incredibly strong in this episode, and I imagine throughout the whole show. I'm assuming again, we haven't seen the whole show yet, but I'm just saying, like, so strong here. The cinematography is very striking, and you really feel the dread when that zombie apocalypse starting, and you see that one dude start shooting at him, and he's like, "We're not sick, we're not sick," and like that moment is just fantastic. And then you get to like later in the episode, we get introduced to more characters and what this world is like and how harsh it is, and what it means to survive in this world, and that is just fantastic because this show really does an incredible job of getting us sucked into this world and what we're doing here, and it's just awesome. It does such a great job. And it's a really fantastic pilot because this pilot is an hour and 20 minutes. And normally I hate when TV show episodes are as long as movies. I really enjoyed Stranger Things season 4, but that really just put a distaste in my mouth that these episodes were so ridiculously long when they didn't need to be, and you could have trimmed some stuff down. But you watch this show and it absolutely needed to be that long. It does a great job at it. Could have been trimmed about maybe 10 minutes or so, but even saying that, I'm like, I don't know where exactly it could have been trimmed about 10 minutes or so. It'd have to take a really smart editor and good couple minutes with the directors of these episodes and creators of the show to really figure out where to trim this episode. But yeah, it's just an incredible pilot that does a great job setting up the show and making me interested in where it's going to go. And it's just fantastic. Again, I know very little about the game, though there was several moments in this episode that I could tell that certain shots were probably taken exactly from the game. Maybe not so, but it felt like images I had seen from the game. Like I just kind of had like weird visions of like, oh, that must be from the game. Even though I don't play the game, I thought this was just one of the best TV show pilots of all time, up there with the first episode of Game of Thrones.